Dan, welcome back. If we strike Iran, the price of oil is probably going to go up, and that will mean higher gas prices. Does that factor into President Trump's calculations?
Good morning, Stuart. Look, I think it's part of the calculation, but it's important to remind the American people, the world generally, these are risk premiums, they're not supply premiums. So yes, prices may go up in the short run for a very small amount of time, but they'll go away pretty quickly. I think the risk for Iran, as we've pointed out several times on your show, it really rests with the geography of the region. It's the Straits of Hormuz. That's a very important waterway. A lot of the oil, 18 million barrels a day roughly, come through that part of the world. And if Iran shuts it down, then prices will spike for a bit of time. I do think, however, the larger risk is not so much the Straits. The larger risk is Iran shooting missiles into Saudi Arabia, perhaps taking out some of their production infrastructure or some of the refining infrastructure. That's a much more difficult situation and takes a longer time to replace. If that were to happen, I think you would see a longer-term price spike. But in the short run, what we're looking at is a basic risk premium. People are wondering if the Straits of Hormuz are going to be shut down. I would suggest that if they are, the United States Navy, if we want to get serious, we'll open it up rather quickly, if not within the hour.
Got it. Take a look at this headline. It's from the Washington Post's editorial board. Quote, "Fixing America's broken nuclear fuel supply." They say growth and AI advances cannot come without big leaps in energy production. Dan, is the rise of data centers putting our nuclear fuel supply in any kind of trouble?
Well, I think it's not only the AI data center demand, it's the economic growth that we've seen here in the United States as a result of the policies that President Trump has taken, moving manufacturing back here to the United States. We're placing a lot of demand on the electricity grid here. And I think it's very important that we address this fuel supply issue with regard to small modular reactors and advanced reactors in particular. It requires a special type of fuel. It's known as high-assay LEU, and we've lost that capability here in the United States largely. I started the program in 2018 and 19 when I was Deputy Secretary and Secretary. Chris Wright has announced that he's going to expand that program, and I applaud him for doing so.
Last one, Dan. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear from oil and gas companies who are trying to block climate change lawsuits. In my opinion, the Greens are trying to cripple the oil and gas industry with these lawsuits. How are you going to stop them?
No question about that, Stuart. That's why this case is so important to be removed to federal court. Some of these communities around the country are trying to affect national, perhaps even international climate policy one lawsuit at a time. They're trying to export their state law into other states. Places like California, for instance, would like to export their climate policy to Texas. They do that through the legal process. Climate policy, energy policy, more importantly, is a national issue, should be resolved in the federal court system.
I mean, the Green New Deal is dead as a doornail. I mean, I'm surprised, but they still keep at it. They're never going to stop, are they?
No, they're not going to stop, and that's another, pernicious effect of this type of lawsuit. These are companies who have produced American energy for years and years and years under federal policies that were in place. And what some of these lawsuits are attempting to do is to retroactively punish them for that energy production. Yeah. And it's a very dangerous element. I hope the Supreme Court rules the right way on this one.
Indeed. Dan Brouillette, thanks for being with us. Always appreciate it.